So, I realized I can go live on Instagram with a cool filter, kind of drive around while I'm doing stuff, produce content in my car. People seem to enjoy these car videos. And, I mean, if you coincidentally catch this while I'm live on Instagram, cool. Hi, thanks. This really is being produced. I'm really producing this video to upload to my YouTube channel. It's not so much that I'm making it specifically for my Instagram followers. So I've got all this mind-blowing stuff going on. Like, I'm getting synchronicities surrounding the author Thomas Pynchon. Thomas Pynchon is most famous for Gravity's Rainbow, and he wrote some book about the people in the South, and like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, you know, like plantation stuff. And he's this really trippy, mysterious, far out author, man. Like, my friend just told me she lives overseas, and she just told me that she has a teacher who, like, that's the teacher's whole focus is like to try and solve the mystery of Thomas Pynchon. And if you look him up online, it's just like, it's like an immediate fall down a rabbit hole experience. And I am totally in love with that kind of concept, obviously being the absolute conspiracy nutter that I am. And so, and plus, I've told you guys a little bit already about this writer and content producer named Monica Belevan, who sent me on a synchronicity chase that landed me with a really expensive art book by another very mysterious character named Matthew Barney. And I have that book sitting still packaged up. I was not expecting to receive like a $150 art book, but when you're a member of the Weaving Spiders Welcome Crew and you do something, what would you call, impulsive, and post in the little Telegram chat that's called wish list that you might want something, you don't think about the fact that 8 or 10 people might dump in their money and make it so that that thing is being shipped to the secret P.O. box in Walla Walla. And so that happened, and the reason I started reading Thomas Pynchon is because of Monica Belevan. You can find Monica Belevan on Twitter. Trying to remember her name on there. Oh yes, the Peacock Angel of History. You can find her more refined works on Substack. She has 2 blogs that I know of. She's in the writing and publishing business as far as I can tell. And her main writing that I read is called Covidian Aesthetics, with the AE ash symbol for aesthetics. And also a blog called The Bride Striped, because she has some challenges and adversities in her life, and I think that's where she expresses those more. I haven't read that one as much, so I might be off base, but I had kind of forgotten all about Thomas Pynchon, and I'd never known about the mystery of his character, his real life character. Like, people don't really, like, it's not confirmed who he is. He's like a true mystery. Like, people don't know who Thomas Pynchon is. And he's written his most famous book, Gravity Falls. Kind of, it's like Stream of Consciousness. It's like, what's the book? Finnegan's Wake. I would compare it to Finnegan's Wake, where there's just this broken up chapter after chapter of so many characters, so much development of the plot and the storyline, all at the same time, all in like 5 or 10 categories. It's the kind of stuff that you either love it or you hate it so far, you know, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So the whole book is like about the V2 rocket, and like, it's so hard. I can't even like just, like, there's kind of a lead character, and he was like tortured and abused and experimented on when he was a baby, and it has to do with his infantile erections, and then like when he grows up, that somehow helps them decode things in the psychic realms or something. And like, there's a whole branch of the government where they're doing like psi research, where, you know, they're like studying Blavatsky and Crowley, and, you know, kind of like that movie The Men Who Stare at Goats. And see, I'm losing my train of thought even trying to drive and explain it to you. Anyway, so my friend I tell her about it, and she's like, oh my gosh, you have to check out this other book. I can't even remember the name of it. I just looked it up on Audible, but it's not very long, and I try to save my Audible credits for things that are really long, you know, like get your bang for your buck, like buy 12 and 20 and 30-hour books. And, you know, sometimes I'll still blow a credit on a 6 or 7 hour book, but I definitely collect in my Audible only things that I'm going to listen to over and over again, and usually leaning towards things that you know, that like are gonna take a while. You know, like 6 hour book, I'll blow through it in a day, especially if I'm working or I have a lot of rudimentary housework and type stuff to do. I'll just blow through it, you know. And plus, depending on the narrator, if they narrate slowly and definedly with pronounced pronunciations, then I'll bump the speed up to 1.5 and make it sound more like they might have drank a couple cups of coffee or done a line of cocaine or so where was I? Oh, so my friend tells me about this other author. You know, first I'm fascinated about her university teacher over in Europe. Like, okay, is this person willing to communicate? I need to know. I think my friend might even be listening. So, and I'm going to ask her privately, like, do you think the teacher is willing to communicate with a weirdo in America about this Pynchon mystery? Because, and I mean, I always say his name like it's French, but it's not. They just call him Pynchon, you know, like P-N-Y-C-H-O-N, and I always want to say Thomas Pynchon, but it's not. It's Pynchon. But, you know, for those of us that are more on the conspiracy side, it's like it's dealing with MK Ultra, it's dealing with Tavistock, it's dealing with metaphysical realities that are usually not the norm or the standard or the accepted thing. You know, I told my friend Emily Moyer about it as soon as I started to listen to Gravity Falls, because she, you know, she points out this kind of stuff, like whoever the secret people are, you know, you don't even have to think of them as the bad guys, but that there's secret people that they go around and they spy on everybody, and you know what people think is that they're always trying to have this totalitarian levers of control over everybody. But Emily's theory is more like that's not true, that what they do is they're having some kind of vibe in the psychic realm of where people might be unwittingly getting you closer to portals, or maybe they're using portals and they're not fully aware of it, or maybe they're using portals and they are aware of it. Like, say, like Tracy Twyman is a good example, you know. Tracy Twyman was messing with the Ouija board and making all kinds of stuff happen, and it's suspected by a lot of people that there was a lot of big wig names following and keeping track of her research, and she suspected that they were stealing her ideas and making television shows and even making movies and writing books, because she was one of these people that her personal energy would, you know, she was like the Sybil, you know, like the Oracle, you know. And so speculation is that there's people, you know, this is kind of, you know, if Emily Moyer watches this and I get it wrong, then please forgive me, Emily, but like the idea that the secret guys, you know, the secret spy guys, you know, whether they're ABC agencies or, you know, black suits, the men in black, what they do is they follow people around and they discover things that are happening in the in-between realms, in the psychic realms, you know, beyond the veil, in the ether, and they kind of use, you know, I guess I'm one of these people, you know, guys like me might be intentionally or accidentally pointing to a rabbit hole or to a portal or to some kind of heightened area of woo-woo magic activity, and then so they find these people and they follow them around. There was one main interview where Emily was talking about this with a man who pretty much, he was big time involved in the Church of the Subgenius, and he had published reams and reams and reams of music, and I just can't think of his name, and it's a great interview. I think it's free on her channel. It used to be on her Vimeo, but I think her Vimeo has been deleted since, not by her, you know, they wiped it out for whatever reason. And so I told Emily about it because the book has that kind of stuff in it. You know, they're talking about World War II, they're talking about the V2 rockets, and they're following around a few different soldiers and characters and like prostitutes and spies, but they're talking about something like the rockets are detonating in reverse, like it's a contradiction of time and space, like they're blowing up and then it's creating an explosion and then it's creating a sound, like it's out of whack, metaphysically completely out of whack. And so the more we see this kind of stuff, the more I wonder, like, how many hints and clues in books and movies and other forms of entertainment and media do we have to see before we think maybe this is reality? And that's what Emily was saying, is that she thinks that this is more likely, that this is the way the world really works, you know, that people they either have some kind of heightened sense of psi and all that kind of stuff. You have to forgive me, I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I'm wondering if it's a police officer following me. So, you know, I'm not doing anything illegal, but you know how it is, it gives you that feeling like, but I mean, my headlights are on, I'm doing everything legal and correct, my licensure and insurance are all in good standing, so God forbid anything happen. But so yeah, I'm tending to agree with Emily that maybe the secret Men in Black types, the ABC agency types, sure, there might be just regular old spies and people like surveilling and being totalitarian and controlling, but I think that there are huge swaths of these people that are funded to just go out and poke around in the psychic realms to figure out what they can learn about people who do have extra abilities, have sixth and seventh senses and all this type of stuff. And of course, now it makes me think, with me talking about this while I'm driving, I'm thinking, oh, are they onto me so much that I'm making a live video about it on Instagram? I'm going to upload it to my YouTube, and the secret guys are following me right now. I can see them back there. I change lanes, they follow me. I turn right, they turn right. Maybe I should pull in and park and see if they pull in and park too. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to drive home in good faith that everything's all good, man, that we're cool. So anyway, I digressed far enough, I guess, into Emily Moyer's concept and the fact that, you know, that it seems like there's some plausibility to the idea that this kind of psi research is a lot more popular. You know, I saw that Gordy Two Shoes popped up. I'm sure he is nodding his head in agreement if he's listening, and they just drove by. I didn't look. I wonder if that's them. Was that them? Just kidding. So the other thing is, my friend pointed out there was another author, a Russian author, who wrote a book called Generation P in Russian, and I'm going to have to find the title again in English. She sent me the title, but it was on an audio, and I guess in British English it was called Babylon, and it was spelled funny, and it's some kind of like postmodern fictional masterpiece for conspiracy nerds, and I'm just... my mind was blown, because it's all this synchronicity stuff, right? Like, this whole thing started, the reason I thought to make a video was because I had a strong feeling to contact my friend, and so I was getting ready to send her a message, and I'm listening to Gravity Falls, which I said was about the V2 rocket, is one of the main focuses of the book, and she sends me a clip of a man driving around in a convertible somewhere in Europe, like some shared Instagram clip, and he's got a rocket seat belted into the back of his convertible. And the guy pulls up and talks to him in some foreign language, and they're talking and laughing, and like, okay, so that's a pretty powerful synchronicity when you get a strong feeling to message your friend. And it's a video about somebody driving around with a rocket in their car. That's kind of trippy. But then she knows about Thomas Pynchon when I didn't know that she did, because I was saying, hey, that's what I'm listening to, that's a really funny sync. And then she digresses to tell me about some Russian author who wrote this whole postmodern conspiracy fictional masterpiece, and of course it has something to do with like secret poo molecules that are involved in the some secret reproductive process. Okay, so that's pretty gross and weird, right? But as you guys all know from the RX Only Picture Show days and carrying on into our work on Weaving Spiders Welcome with me and Jim, and you know, other juggernauts of the conspiracy realm, say like JUAN AYALA, we have some information and some fascination and some determination to discover what's going on with these ritual black magicians, who are also always involved with rockets, by the way. If you're not familiar with Jack Parsons' laboratory, Marvel Jack Parsons blew himself up as a rocket researcher. So, you know, if you've gotten past Conspiracy 101, then you already know that left-handed path black magicians cross over with intelligence agencies, cross over with space agencies and rockets. And so for this Russian guy, his book to be about like secret reproductive poop molecules, is like, oh, so we're back into the weird transgressive ritual gay sex magic to create moon children, to create homunculuses, to create stuff, you know, like it's some kind of inversion of the most sacred act to use, you know, if you've ever seen the meme where Aleister Crowley is there and it says, you know, magic is stored in the butt. Like, I mean, that's a 3rd or 4th level meme. Like, you would have to know the meme about pee being stored in the balls to even understand the double entendre, double level joke of magic is stored in the butt. But even if you're just trying to be a reasonably normal person and studying about magic and just you have a curiosity and an understanding, what you do is you stumble across the bounds over and over again that these guys are playing around with their butts. And it's really weird. Like, why does it always come back to some kind of strange butt magic? And, you know, my theory is because it is the ultimate inversion of the natural process of life. If the natural process of life is for a man and a woman to have an actual physical baby, and at a moment of conception, that physical baby is imbued with the spark of life that comes from the creator, you know, from the bigger active force, then if you invert that completely and do it right, then you still get some kind of spark that I would claim is still from the creator. You know, everything comes from and returns to the creator, in my opinion. And so, but if you invert everything, I look at the universe like this, okay? Like, if there is a devil character, then the true all-powerful God character is like, you can do whatever you want. You have, you know, let's say you have 49% power. You know, you can't be 50-50. I don't believe in duality. So I would say it's, you know, maybe God gives over 49% effort and power to the devil to try anything. Like, if your teenager's arrogant and they want to steal the car and drive it, instead of trying to fight them and stop them, you just say, screw it, take the car, drive, see how you do. You haven't learned, you don't know how the car works, you don't know how to drive, but go ahead, because it's my world and it's my universe, and I trust no matter what you do that you can't screw it up because I'm the one that put it in place, so go for it. So that's the way I look at the God-devil dichotomy. And so if that's the case, then God, in all faith with confidence, can give the devil all the power he wants to give him and never worry that anything truly quote-unquote bad is going to happen, because everything is designed within the laboratory that God created. And so if God wants to even give the devil power to imbue secret poo particles with the spark of anti-life so that secret souls can be created that are either invisible, discarnate entities, or maybe they can be created and then they can be also imbued or added to something, you know, like if you've never heard the theory that like Hillary Clinton is a moon child. Who else? Maybe Barbara Bush is a moon child. Or maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm conflating. But Hillary Clinton, it's definitely speculated that, you know, they did a secret woo-woo working in the desert back in the day, and you know, Babylon working or whatever, and that that then, you know, they did the magic and then they pointed that magic in a particular direction or a way, and then Hillary came out, you know, and maybe boy, I don't know. I'm almost home now. Maybe I better call this good, huh? You think that's enough, you guys? I like that comment from Appalachian I didn't see the rest of your name, bro. I know who you are, obviously. Yes, it is true that the left hand is typically weaker than the right, and that goes with my 49-51% theory. Very good. And ironically, I'm left-handed, so my left hand is stronger than my right, considerably stronger. But yeah, I don't know. I might have to call it here. I guess I could unhook this thing and keep walking and talking, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty good video to upload. A nice driving rant from SB Alger, talking about, you know, well, the same old stuff, right? That's why I love JUAN AYALA. He's a JUAN on JUAN podcast. You can pay the Rokfin and get some bonus from him, or you can check him out on YouTube and stuff. Me and him have been talking about this stuff. We did an episode a few months back. But he's the one that says something like, you know, this stuff has always got such a deep level of fascination that it's like you never get enough. You know, there's a wanting to figure it out, a willingness to continue to try to figure it out and comprehend it, that it just doesn't go away. And so it's fascinating and it's fun. And oh, interesting, sorry for the interruption, but Appalachian Aesthetic is also left-handed. What's up? This is the right hand, but what's up? This is the left hand. I've been doing that since I was a teenager, and I still do it because Ronnie James Dio said his grandma taught him to do that, to turn away the evil spirits, to turn away the evil eye. So I don't see it as the sign of the devil. I just see it as an old habit. What's up? Because I was very much, still in my heart, very much a heavy metal guy. So anyways, I'm going to push the button, y'all. I'm going to upload this to YouTube if you want to watch it again. I appreciate the few of you that did jump in here. I might do this more often. And here we go, pushing the button. Much love and respect. Okay, bye.